couple of days ago, Jessica Andrade, coach, came out and said that she lost the fight because she did not follow the game plan, that she was lost in the euphoria. Now, I must admit for you right off the bat, I don't know what the euphoria means, if that means the lights and the attraction or being the champion and, being the last to walk. I didn't fully know what the euphoria meant, but I will go back to the first part because a little bit of a confusing statement. She did not follow the game plan. And I hear it so many times. And by no means am I questioning her or her coach. Not meant to be a second guess or an armchair quarterback or even rude. Not meant to be rude by me. But a very famous line that was put out by Mike Tyson. He simply said, everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face. To elaborate on what Mike Tyson meant there is, yes, you have a plan, but as soon as you get hit and you realize the house is on fire, your body will naturally convince your mind, and you will just go to your bread and butter. You will just go to what you know. And most athletes, as great as they are and as fantastic as they look, and as much as you think they know about the sport, if you go and watch a play or an inning or a down or a sequence in a fight with a combination, the great ones have about 3 things that they do and nothing more. And they can do those 3 plays on anybody. Or those 3 combinations on anybody. And as good as you are, you don't have this huge trick bag of 100 different techniques that you can just draw. You've got 2 or 3 that you can count on when you're in a jam. And the second you get hit in the face, to use Mike Tyson's quote, you now find yourself in a jam. And you go right back to this. And I just think it's so true. And I've always thought that sports guys that give the X's and O's and the break, well, I don't know about this because if LeBron goes this way, but Kobe isn't open for a pass, I could see where Patrick Ewing would come in and get the ball. They give all these breakdowns, but it really is a lot simpler than that. And it's not as sophisticated or as fantastic as sometimes we appear to make it look, okay? When you talk about game plans and you didn't follow the game plan. Well, okay, is that because they lost focus? Because that's almost the interpretation that you're leaving the audience to believe. They lost focus and they threw it out, or they just simply weren't able to. If the game plan is to go out and take down your opponent, but you didn't do that, and the hidden reason of why you didn't do that is because it turned out that his defensive takedowns was better than your offensive takedowns, then that isn't I didn't follow the game plan. That is I had a bad game plan. My coaches and my strategists and myself included all decided that this is how we're going to win the fight. We got in there and realized that wasn't going to work. Oh, and by the way, we didn't have a plan B. We did not have a plan. Okay, go out, try to get the takedown. If you fail at getting the takedown, then here's what we got to do. We've got to circle to the left and we've got to watch the right high kick and we got to make sure we're throwing straight down the middle. You have to have a plan B. The really greats will also have a plan C. And the only reason I share that for you is sometimes I do see people default a loss. Instead of just go, look, the other person's a better fighter than me. And I'm not saying, by the way, that's not what Jessica Andrade has done here. I'm done talking her. I'm just using this as a jumping off point. So many times I will see somebody come out and say, well, I didn't stick to the game plan. It's like, okay, what the hell does that mean? Because this wasn't a contest of plan or strategies. The contest was to be under the unified rules. Did you follow the unified rules? Well, yes. Did they follow the unified rules? Yes. Okay. And now we have our victor and we have our silver medalist. That's what this is. This isn't something you come back and try to break down later. And everybody wants to talk like they've got an MBA from Harvard in sports strategy. By the way, a degree I should offer for you doesn't exist and isn't offered by any accredited university in the world. It's a bunch of knuckleheads that somewhere along the way made a mistake in life and had to turn to prize fighting. That's what so you get a whole bunch of knuckleheads together that come up with a knucklehead plan. How great do you think it's going to be? That's fine. What was my game plan? I didn't want to get hit. That's what this game is. I hit you, you don't hit me. That's what this game is. I mean, you didn't follow the game plan. You didn't plan to get hit. You're in a fist fight where hitting is allowed and on some level should be expected. And I would just share for you, whenever I hear that, well, I didn't follow the game plan. Or a guy will lose a fight and go and compliment the other guy and go, well, he had a really good game plan. Man, I don't really know what that means. The plans don't change for the greats. The greatest ever, George St. Pierre, you could not go look at one of his 20 fights and show me a significant difference in strategy in any of those fights. His skills were his skills. The opponent had to do their best to stop those skills and then implement theirs within a time constraint of 25 minutes. That's all it was. So before you try to lessen somebody's victory or to feather your own nest for the fall, talking about, well, the game plan and the strategy wasn't, your skills are your skills and their skills are their skills. And that's why we have the competition. And it's really, as much as we would love to sound sophisticated and intelligent, it's really nothing more than that.